My wardrobe at this point is 70% just free shit that I got from work or conferences or from health fairs or banks. I don't know, just free shit. And people around me know that I wear this clothes, so they'll give me their free shit. So I'll have all kinds of random branded clothes, mostly t-shirts, but also fanny packs and hoodies and socks. No pants yet. People really need to up their pant swag game. I just like free shit because I'm a Jew. And I use all this clothes as gym clothes because I try to go every day, which means I need a lot of gym clothes. And because I never really need to look nice anywhere I go, I just wear gym clothes every day to save on laundry. Like after it's washed and clean, I'll wear it until my workout and then put in the laundry after workout. It's efficient, and yoga pants make my ass look great. So the other day I was looking in my closet and I saw my favorite t-shirt, which is like a graphic tee sort of thing. I'm a man-child. And I like that shirt, so I don't wear it to the gym. I don't want it to get sweaty or dirty. And I was thinking about it, and I hadn't worn that shirt in years, probably at least 3 years. It's weird. It's my favorite shirt, and I don't wear it. Someday it's going to get eaten by moths, or I'm going to move and lose track of it in some box somewhere, or it's going to get stolen by some floozy. Sooner or later, you're going to lose everything. And when that happens, how will you remember it? Behind a plate of cold glass? Or will it be a part of your everyday life? Regina Spektor has a song about this called All the Rowboats or something like that. And I always thought it was pretty obvious what the song was about, but when I was looking online, a lot of people had a lot of different theories, and some of them were retarded, but some seemed plausible, so who knows? But what I got from it was, there's a point where you're preserving something so completely that it's virtually destroyed, turned into some other thing. And she's talking about art, paintings and violins and other stuff probably. The music video had a lot of nets. Maybe it's less of an issue with paintings because you can put it behind a glass case and still look at it, but you can't touch it, you can't love it. I got kicked out of the MoMA for trying to rub my wang on a sculpted boob, and you know what? Art is dead. But a violin in a glass case that never gets played, you're just looking at it. At that point, in a sense, it is kind of destroyed. The thing that was beautiful about it is no longer available. We need to preserve this violin so that the they-thems of the future can, look at it? Are they going to someday take it out and play it so the human-alien hybrids in 2031 can hear Vivaldi's violin? I don't know if we're actually doing this with violins, but you get the point. We preserve this thing so that it can never fulfill its purpose again. A great victory for China. I always thought that was an interesting idea, and I didn't connect it to my dumb t-shirt until recently. So now I wear the shirt to the gym. It's part of my normal rotation, and I moved a bunch of my shirts that were quote-unquote too nice into the gym pile. And I kind of cheated. I found where I bought online, and I bought 3 more just in case they ever stop selling it. I can have my cake, and I can wear it too. And if you're curious, it's on shirt.woot.com, and the name is Underwater Forest. That's what you can search. Every podcast needs swag, and the best way to do it is to use someone else's shirt and give them the money. Or just steal a shirt from your dad, and that will be the... I'm not going to forget the name again. The band name Shut Up Podcast's official shirt is whatever you stole from your dad. So now do I keep these 3 behind glass and wear the one old shirt until that falls apart and then I pull one of them out? Or do I just do laundry every 4 days and be autistic? I bet there's a line somewhere, long gone from my rearview mirror at this point as I dive headfirst into trains and Sanic. I saw this meme where it shows the 3 paths you can take in the modern world if you have autism. Trains and planes, they, them, faggotry, or Nazism with Pepe. That's unrelated to anything. This isn't just about my stupid graphic autism tease. This applies to a lot of things, and it doesn't necessarily mean that you should spend all your money right now on hot tubs and not save for the future, but you should be thoughtful about what you do and why you do it. In more areas than one, I suppose, but maybe not all areas. And I'm not going to explain that. When I said thoughtful, I really stretched out the like in that meme about Trump saying thick with 2 C's. You know the one. You should know. As you wouldn't be listening to my meme review podcast if you didn't at least have the basic principles down. Grumpy Cat, 7 out of 10. I really like his dumb grumpy cat face, but it draws too much attention from Facebook boomers. Anyway, be thick-ful. No one in history has, on their deathbed, wished that they'd spent less time with their family, or more time at their shitty, wagey day job. I assume. I don't know. I'll let you know when I die. Anyway, have you ever kept a person behind glass or fear of losing them? You know what I mean. I did. I lost her anyway. I remember glass. And if you did, and I think most people have done this, really ask yourself, was it really a fear of losing them, or a fear of hurting or destroying them? Or is it fear of hurting yourself, just plain rejection? It doesn't have to be just romantic, or even a fear of losing them, whatever the fuck that means. We have a way of taking people for granted, or our time with people. Sometimes you put them behind glass just because you're busy, you got people you like better, you're gay, who knows? That's between you and God. As a thought experiment, imagine this person died. How are you feeling about your current decisions regarding that person and how you deal with them, the time you give them, and whatever? I mean suddenly, today, obviously. Or imagine you found out that this person has ass cancer and 1 year to live. What changes would you start making today? And again, this doesn't mean you should go running headlong into every person you've ever known and give them all the time in the world. But you should be thoughtful. You should think about it. It's really easy to not think about it and just do emotional state machine unthinking, just follow your programming. Or being on autopilot. Whatever you want to call it. Being retarded. But maybe just work on forgiving your parents now. Maybe talk to them more now. Build good memories now. Maybe go help your technologically retarded dad restart his router for the 100th time. Laugh with him. Learn about how he started his business. Build these good memories now, while you can. Maybe send your cousin flowers now, while he's alive. Preferably when he's at work, so all his coworkers annoy him asking about the flowers. And maybe stop spending time with toxic retards. Because it's really about time. Your time is your most precious resource. You only have a finite amount of it, so you gotta be careful who or what you give it to. For example, this podcast? What are you, stupid? Find something better to do with your time. Sometimes a friend will tell me about some chick he's in a It's Complicated with, and he tells me these stories and I get so frustrated because ignore what she's saying about like, oh, you're so handsome, too handsome, I can't be with you. Ignore that bullshit. Look at how she's behaving, because it sounds like she's just trying to get your attention and nothing more. She'll go silent for a month and then come crawling back when she needs a self-esteem boost and then dump you again. I know you're eventually going to listen to this. I've already said this to you, so this isn't... I'm not subtweeting you, bro. Attention is the precious time of rare sentience being pointed at you. Incredibly valuable. People build entire careers on being able to grab attention, entire companies or industries. So it's nowhere near unheard of or crazy or cynical to say that a lot of people will just try to get your attention. They're not even trying to get your money, they're not trying to get your pussy, they just want your attention. Maybe they want the other things, but attention is an equally valid thing to try to use you for, because it's valuable. More valuable, I think, than money or sex or whatever else. There are probably machine people who have figured out the conversion rates down to exact units, right down to the shekel. But I'm just speaking generally because I'm an ignorant cow and I don't care what the numbers are. And we look at someone with 1,000 followers on Instagram and say, haha, no one likes you. 1,000 people gave you a few seconds of their precious time. That's incredible. And we get focused on trying to get more and more and try to reach attention from strangers to feel valuable. Call your mom. Give and receive attention from a real person. These aggregate systems are machine men harvesting attention. It's imitation crab. It tastes and smells like real crab. It feels real. But why do you always feel so fucking sick? Retard. Stop ignoring calls from your brother because you want to finish consuming Star Wars. or cooming to Star Wars porn. Put down your phone and talk to the person sitting next to you. And I know I'm one to talk as a turbo isolated autist. My hypocrisy or incompetence doesn't make me wrong. Learn from my failures. I think it's especially egregious that we give our attention to machines over our loved ones. It doesn't have to be some random dude hitting you up on the subway, just your family, your friends. And we ignore them to play video games, watch The Man Show. And again, I'm a hypocrite. I'm guilty of this. I try to be better about it. When I was younger, there were times when I'd go months without talking to my parents. And it wasn't a conscious decision that I wanted to avoid them or ignore them. I didn't want to talk to them. Just every time they called, I'd see it and I'd think, oh, well, I'm doing something. I'm busy right now. I'll call them back later. And the thing I'm doing is like doing daily quests in World of Warcraft. And that would just keep happening. And I'd keep forgetting to call back until eventually my dad will email me. He's like, hey, call me back. Or they'll get someone else to contact me and say, hey, your parents are concerned. And part of that was working on forgiving them. It wasn't just, oh, I'm so busy. It's a subconscious thing that wasn't acknowledged about not wanting to talk to them and just placing other things above it, including fucking WoW chores. So now I'm better about it. I always answer, and if I don't or can't, I call back soon. I know it's probably not an emergency, but we'll still say hi. And we started a weekly Zoom call just to keep everyone in touch. My family is slightly more important than grinding out that perdition's blade. I'm not sure what my point really is here, besides the super obvious one that everyone should already know. Where you point your attention is very important, and you should be more thoughtful about it. And if you're gonna love it, then love it. Don't lock it up in safety prison. I had a friend a while back, and it was kind of an on and off friendship. There'd be a few months when she was my closest friend, and then we'd drift off for a few months and then pick back up later like no time had passed. And we met online, back when it was weird to meet online, so we were both weirdos. So there was zero overlap in our friend groups. I'd met her family, but, just when it happened to coincide with us hanging out or something like that. So I found out on Facebook when she died, because I didn't know anyone. They didn't know that there was someone else to tell. And I don't even know how, because I don't know any of them. The best I can do is take a guess from this Facebook post. It's not like I can go ask her brother, like, yo, how'd she do it? Let me know. If I had to guess, it was suicide by pills, but who fucking knows? For a while I thought about her a lot, about wanting to tell her stuff, funny stories, jokes, wanting to recommend books or something, and then getting sad about not being able to. She told me once, the last time I saw her in person, when we stayed up until 7 a.m. getting eaten alive by mosquitoes, that she didn't want to be alive. And I dismissed it as her being melodramatic. Which maybe at the time was not that. I don't know. Shut up. And I know I couldn't have saved her. I know that. You can't help feeling guilty for a while when she tells you, she says Falcon punch. You're like, she's not gonna punch. Sometimes I would have these unhealthy daydreams about meeting a magic toad or something that would give me the power to go back in time and I would save her life. But even in my wildest fantasies, I couldn't think of how I'd actually do that. I'd also buy Bitcoin. After a while, I stopped thinking like that, and I stopped thinking of her as much. But when I did, it was always in this rose-colored way, sort of like how people act like the deceased were saints and they did no wrong. And then after a while, I started remembering the bad times, remembering her as an actual person. I liked her, great person, but not without flaws. Sometimes she was an asshole. Sometimes I was an asshole. To her. And I didn't realize until I was thinking about it years after she died. So I don't have to apologize. Score! And I don't know the theory on knowing dead people, but maybe that's just a normal fucking progression, right? That's just what everyone goes through. You're not special. Shut up. Sometimes I think of it as losing her all over again, as my mental picture of her dies and I find a new one. Kind of like that meme about dying and then, again, the last time someone thinks of you or however the fuck it goes. But maybe that's just me trying to make her tragedy about me. I have this voicemail from her that I saved at the time because it was cute. And after she died, I started saving voicemails from everyone. If you have a name in my phone, I save your voicemails. I always figured I'd do something with it, honor her memory, whatever that means. But I didn't really know what. I thought maybe I'd use it in the song, but it turns out I'm an untalented troglodyte, so that's not an option. Maybe I should just send it to her family. Maybe I should continue to jealously keep it to myself and listen to it sometimes. Maybe I should just put it on my gay podcast for attention. I wonder which one I'm gonna do. But I think I'm gonna delete it off my phone as some kind of stop holding on to the past or stop preserving things behind glass. This doesn't entirely make sense, I know. But there's a thread of something in there. You feel me? In some way, this loosely connects to the rest of this episode. And I'm still cheating because it'll be deleted off my phone by the time this goes up, but I could still go back to the working files and just pull it out again.
Just like at the movie theater!
So I can have my cake and eat it too. But I still can't bring it back. But the symbology is powerful. Fuck you. Just remember, if you're planning on killing yourself, don't leave people voicemails or you'll end up on a nigga's mixtape. And don't bother following her instructions. They don't make sense because, woman brain. She would have laughed at that. No, she was wicked smart. It's just time has passed and everything's different now.
Okay, you need to go to cooksnookstore.com. I googled baking supplies in my zip code because I need to get baking supply decoration stuff because I'm awesome and I'm going to bake cookies and I'm going to decorate the shit out of them. So, I needed baking decorating supplies. And I get to, so cooks, like the possessive cooks, and then the Cooks Nook, like not the Kindle, the Nook, store.com, and then click on About Us, second tab up at the top, and just, what the fuck? I'm staring at it right now, and I had to call you, and you suck for not picking up. You were just texting me. But whatever. I'll leave you an awkwardly long voicemail, and take that. No, seriously, cooksnextdoor.com, About Us. I cannot believe they let that freeze frame be, like the beginning of the video. It's hilarious. And then if you click back on home and on the right hand side, it'll like scroll through pictures of their store. It just gets creepier and creepier. Especially the picture of the building from the outside. It just looks like they murder people in here. Okay, cooksnextdoor.com. I had other stuff to say, but I'll just text it to you, since obviously voices is too much. God forbid. Okay, bye.
Was this whole episode just a flimsy excuse to post that voicemail? Maybe. Is every episode just a flimsy excuse to say nigger? Shut up.